Have any of y'all ever been cut from a team? Not waived, because, WNBA is very specific. Benson, why you put the glasses on?
Because I ain't never been waived, cut, denied, rejected, declined, whatever word you want to use. You want to look at all chat GPT. Go ahead and load it. Ain't been it.
What about you, Mel?
Mel, you better not say you got cut. I swear for you.
Benson, don't be. Now, we're all friends here, Benson.
All she got to do is lie.
Oh my God.
Just lie.
You ain't got to lie, Craig.
We might have to get some viewers to talk about when they got cut. You know what I'm saying? Because we got some viewers that might have got cut.
Send us a
not
DM.
Nobody on here. Not on here. Send us a DM if you ever been cut.
All I want is credit, give me mine. We've been counted out too many times. They was hating, told them get in line. Ain't no breaks until we hit the finish line. I cannot retire from it.
Welcome to Sideline Stories. I can't retire from this podcast, where our common denominator is hoops. We're bringing you interviews, stories, and insight from all around the women's basketball world because, well, we really can't retire from this. Let's get into it. What's going on, good people? It's the Can't Retire crew back to give it to you, give you some good insight, give you some good conversation. I've missed these people. It's wonderful to see your faces. This is your host, Misha Jones, talking to you on the mic. We've got Jasmine Dallas, we've got Tanisha Benson, and we've got the creator, the mind behind the grind, Melanie Page. Y'all like that? The mind behind
the grind. Yeah.
Did you call that on the spot?
Okay, Misha.
On the spot, off the dome.
Let's see what we're doing.
Off the dome ski, okay? That's how we're feeling today. And speaking of today, we are here to talk about something that's not necessarily as fun, which is how many people in the WNBA get waived and have to deal with not making a roster towards the beginning of the season, because that's the period we're at. The season started May 16th. We're recording this episode on May 23rd, just about a week into the season. And it's some folks who have gone, although we've come to the end of the road. Okay. It's the people that's gone that we didn't want to be gone. And that is where...
You make it sound like they died.
I had to pour one out. Pour one out for
a song and everything.
I'm joshing. But that's where we can start today, y'all. Let's start with that. Who has been waived early on in this WNBA season that you really wanted to stick on a roster? Let's start with you, Jazz.
I think it's interesting because as the league is continuing to grow and develop and everything like that, I think one of the most powerful things they've done is started to tell the stories of players, right? And so you get a lot of this identity of like, oh, you're starting to tell this story that's inspiring and all of this, and then you waive somebody and you like, wait a minute. And what does that really do? So like one person that comes to mind with that is Katie Chen. Like, I think what she was doing, like her ascent in her whole career, right? Like she started Ivy League, if I'm not mistaken.
She started at Princeton.
Went UConn, got drafted to the brand new Valkyries. And this storyline was already being built on social, on a lot of different ways. And then all of a sudden she's gone. And I think that being a little bit bitter of a Portland native who remembers when the fire was here and then it got yanked away, and what that did from a storyline for us, Portland natives, women's basketball players, girls basketball players. I think there's a little bit of a risk there. So, that's more on a business side. It's not to say, that Valkyries did not make a correct decision from a standpoint of what their roster makeup was and how that works. But I do think that we have to be careful about promoting something a certain way and making sure that like there were very few teams that like really said, hey, thanks for what you did do when they waive somebody. And right. So it's like, what is that continued storyline so that you're also maintaining that momentum and encouragement that you just built up? Because that could be kind of sad.
I think that's a common complaint that folks have, is seeing their favorite WNBA draftees, their favorite, especially the rookies, right? Especially as it pertains to the rookies, their faves from college enter the league and get all the promo and have the jersey in the team store and on the site, and the jersey shirt too, all of it, the baby size, the adult size, it's all in there. And then all of a sudden you look crazy wearing it to a game because they're not even on the team. So Benson, how about you?
Well, last time I was asked a controversial question like this, it just blew up on social media. So guess what? I'm going to do it again.
Do it.
I don't care. I want to see Madison Scott. This is the truth. A lot of the players that are coming from the college level to the pro level, they're not ready. It's two different games. It's a whole nother level. But I thought Madison Scott would have had a future just because of her size, her versatility. I wanted to see Deanna Gaston. Have always been a fan of
from
hers.
Texas.
I've always been a fan of her. I think she was at Auburn. I thought Petty could have had a career. Eventually, just again, young, trying to figure it out. Just a lot of the players that we've seen in college, really, you start to see the growth towards senior year. But then there's got to be a whole nother level, right? These players have been asked to do a certain job at the college level to win at that level and then go to the pro level. It's totally different. Totally different. That was tough. Of course, I got to give a shout out to my girl, Bree Hall, Cheyenne Sellers. These are kids I've known since they were like in the 2nd, 3rd grade. That also breaks my heart. But the truth of the matter is they're not ready. They're not ready, and the WNBA doesn't have the spots to do it. So upset that a lot of them got waived, but probably a lot of them would have got waived.
Yeah, and it's a cutthroat business.
100%. 100%.
It's hard because where we're at with women's basketball, a lot of us have been in this space for a really long time and sort of have our hooks into people, whether they be on the college or the pro level. And that's the reality, right? When you look at the men's side, it's kids that go into that draft and never come back. You know what I mean? They get lost in the abyss. And I think it's a little easier for fans of men's basketball, especially men's college basketball, because you've got so many one and dones. It's harder to really connect and feel drawn in by individual players unless you're really zeroed in and been following them. And so it doesn't feel like as much of a heartbreaking situation. But with the women's side, because we can get so connected, it's tough. It's tough every time. But Mel, how about you? Who got waived that you were really feeling a way about? And it doesn't have to be a rookie.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned jerseys and like the connection and the storylines and the fandom of it. So Diamond DeShields is the first WNBA jersey I personally purchased when she was on Chicago Sky a few years ago, and they released those the Blue Rebel jerseys. I love, like, that joint is nice, and Diamond was cooking at that time. Cooking in that era. But then, like, as we talk about storylines, and then all the information finally came out about what she was actually struggling with the back surgery and her recovery process from that, which was insane. Insane.
Everybody can't handle that. Everybody can't handle that. So that's life. Props to her.
And just watching her try to get back to where she was before I've been rooting for her to like get back up there. And then, you know, we saw that she got traded to Connecticut Sun and through training camp. And then we got, of course, Lindsay and Marina, like some of the girls from Chicago Sky came over to the Sun.
Reunion.
Yeah, like we saw them on social media, like Marina and Diamond was having fun and like all that camaraderie. And then last week, Diamond gets cut. And that was like heartbreaking to hear the information and then see Diamond's video that she posted. And like, I mean, for the past teams, like she has been bringing all her entire life with her. And then to get essentially stuck in Connecticut with all her stuff. And then we find out all the information about how the WNBA can only ship a certain amount of stuff. And I mean, it's graduation season, so there ain't no rental cars for her to be able to pack all her stuff into.
Oh, Lord.
Or U-Hauls. Like, it's insane. And even where the Connecticut Sun play, it is in the middle of nowhere. So
Uncasville up there, and having been there, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It just ain't nothing out there.
Yes.
It just ain't nothing out. It's not New York City. You can't, it's just not giving the same
we can't get no partnership with you all.
As many lesbians as in the WNBA. No, let me stop.
Just throw that out.
Woo! Should have been partnered with U-Haul. But anyways.
Just saying. Just throw that out there. You all of you listening. Clearly we got shipping issues and moving stuff.
U-Haul.
And the amount of trades that be happening throughout the 6 months.
No, we need to stop. Can't retire from this. Need to stop talking because we giving away too much free advice.
Too many ideas.
Jazz gave 2 last time.
Well,
facts.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people though, long story short, that got waived. A couple of people I want to shout out. Cheyenne Sellers really wanted her to stick somewhere.
Yeah.
I wanted Harmony Turner, who was with the Aces in training camp. Talk about a kid who just went about her business and did her freaking thing at Harvard. Was basically
went a totally different route.
Went a totally different route and still found her way to the pinnacle, to the draft. Got drafted to a team full of people who I hope she just gleaned so much from everybody in that training camp, from Becky to Asia to Chelsea Gray. Everybody on that roster, I hope, poured into her, and I know they probably did. Jazz, what's up?
Let me just say, though, that's not the last you're going to hear of her.
Oh, no.
It may not be on the court, but that girl,
different.
She going to be all right.
She different.
She gonna be just fine.
She gonna be all right.
She's something special.
She might have. Well, she's still playing. She ain't retired yet.
So. She can't retire from this bench. You don't know.
I was waiting for somebody to grab it. You know, she might be able to get on.
Yeah. But I'm also right there with you, Jazz, about Caitlin Chen. I had an opportunity to talk to her at the Final Four before UConn won the championship, and just the way she was focused. She's a pretty soft-spoken person, and also, even if she wasn't, that media scrum is always insane at the Final Four. But she just seemed like she's a kid who made a decision to come to a place where she knew she would be pushed to her highest potential. And that's exactly what happened. And so I hope that's not the last we see of her. And then also sticking with those Valkyries, Letitia Amir here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Letitia Amir here, not a rookie, but a player who had 20 points in 19 minutes in the Valkyries' first preseason game, and then was waived. Now, after watching the Valkyries play my Mystics and get their first win ever in history over my Mystics, how about that?
Talk about it.
We're gonna be because of Sparks with a little plum doing her thing.
Yeah,
plummy.
Yeah, but watching that game and seeing Janelle Solon, who is a French international player, on the court for the first time, I kind of got it. At first, because she wasn't playing, I wasn't sure where else on the roster. I'm like, there's so much space. But Solon is going to be one of them ones. So I'm also just going to put a pin in that. We're going to be talking about her later on down the line. But moving on, to
talk about France in general.
I mean,
like, what you doing over there, France?
They making
stacking them up.
Making a little move over there.
Yeah, somebody doing development.
Yes, they are. But speaking of development, it's a perfect segue, Benson. And I'm especially curious to hear what you think about this. What are some of the things that rookies could be focusing on? You mentioned that they're just not ready when they get to the pro level. What do you think they could be focusing on to help them stick on these rosters?
So the process, so that we're all on the same page. You go to training camp a week, 2 weeks. You know, you have a limit of the rosters, but let's say you don't make it within that first week. Say we've got some other players they're looking at. You're going to get called in that office, and they're going to have a conversation, and they're going to talk about offense, and they're going to talk about defense. The one that probably is the one that is the hardest to teach is the offensive sides. If you've got an offensive game, you can last a little bit longer than a week. You definitely can't have both issues, offense and defensive issues. So it really depends on what circuit and what team you play for, whether you have the defensive principles down packed. I don't think people understand how quick the WNBA players are. That collapse off of dribble penetration is unreal. It is 0.2 seconds. Like, you got to be able to make a decision real quick.
Yeah.
Like, you got to already not predetermined, but you have to have that quick response. So the one that I think really hurts the rookies that are coming in is the offensive skills and being able to do it at a quicker pace. Because everybody's moving so fast, making a quicker read, being more manipulative, understanding the schemes that they're trying to creating mistakes out of the defense. They can't do that. I know we're not going to evaluation because that's what I feel like I'm about to do. I feel like I'm in my class. Let me come on back. We do work with WNBA players and college kids that are going to the draft on those things. But that is the biggest one. Defensively, you can hide a little bit. The coaches, if you're good enough offensively, they'll hide you.
Well, can I ask you something, Benson? Because you are okay with controversial questions.
Clearly.
But I'm just going to say this because I know a lot of collegiate programs don't necessarily allow for that level of development within their 4-year program, right? Because a coach 100%. Has a certain way in which they want to work. They recruit a certain way. They want you to operate within their system versus changing 100%. With the times because they're like, oh, I've been successful doing like this. So a little bit of my critique comes back down to the collegiate coach, because I'm like, but here's the thing, even if it was a completely new, every team was restocking their squad.
Yep.
Every year, you still only have 0.8%. I was over here doing a little math. 0.8% of current
calculator.
collegiate athletes would make it to the pros, even if the rosters were completely cleared.
Yep. You got to play your
0.8%.
That's right.
So that is an extreme attrition, right? But with that, you're like, hey, if you're a college coach, your program ain't making it, like your system ain't making it on a pro level. So also our college coaches is a little push on y'all. There's a reason certain coaches keep producing WNBA level players.
Yeah, and that is
Facts.
an excellent point. That's an excellent point, because there are, and it's foundational. I love listening to Dawn Staley talk about this specifically at South Carolina, about how she is preparing them to be professionals off the court, first and foremost, but also like good practice habits. I saw the Sanaya Fagan video of her making the Spark Squad, and that was one of the main things that the GM said to her. It was your practice habits. It's those things. It's, defensively, are you only capable of playing a man-to-man where you're 2 feet off the ball? Do you know how to press up? Can you be in help defense the way we need you to? Do you know all the different ways to play a ball screen? Like there's so many things that I think at the college level, and I'm not gonna act like it's not hard to teach basketball at the college level,
hard.
because you're also, as a coach, you have the pressures of being successful. Jazz knows,
we've been there.
The pressure of being successful, the pressure of winning, that sometimes supersedes wanting to actually teach the game in a way that's going to stick with the players. And so it's a tough balance.
Mish,
say it.
Say it. Don't have can't retire. Go have to retire. I'm telling you, go have. Yeah, some of these players that's making thousands of dollars are being cheap. Ooh, cheap.
I would love to hear you expound on this.
Expound.
You got spring. You have summer. I'm going to some of the best developers in the country where I can go get my work in. I'm going to get my work in. I'm making $300,000 a year. You telling me you can't take a percentage to go and work with Phil Handy? Holla at your boy. To go work.
The free promo.
Amber Greg. One of the come on, y'all.
Wow.
And here's the thing. Like you said this before, on the men's side, they got their stuff, they got their issues, but do they not?
They do. You're right. Wow.
And they making the money. Ain't no excuse now. No. We're not doing that. Because if I'm Don, honestly, if I'm D1 program, I probably ain't gonna win the national championship. I'm not changing my whole program just for your hope and dream of making the WNBA, and they ain't got but 2 slots. No offense, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, it ain't happening. And then you talking about you make more than me. You make more than me. You make more than me. You come in a Lambo, and I'm coming in with a minivan, a caravan at that. No. Go get that work in. No, that's what we've been telling the college kids, that it got to be a change of conversation. If y'all gonna get this money, what you using it for?
Right.
I'm getting that development to get me ready for the league. I got a whole off season. It ain't like they ain't got spring and summer and part of fall. I'm done. Can't retire for this. We ain't gonna have no podcast. We don't have no podcast because I said it. I called it out. Quit being cheap.
I'm crying. I love that though. I feel like, gosh, I feel like I say it every time we hop on the mic, but I get smarter every time I talk to you fools. Like, ugh. So moving on to development and what we think the W might be able to do to hold on to some of this talent, if not on an actual official W roster, maybe a development league. Like what other avenues do we see or do we want to see for these players who do get waived and players who do stay close in contact with coaches and trainers and things and still get those 10 days and shorter contracts? Like what else do we want to see available for them so that they can be connected to the league and remain connected?
I'm gonna say this. You can't wait on the league to do this. The W, like they're just starting to expand after years.
Yeah,
they're just starting to expand, and they're still only limited rosters. There's only so many. There's 137 spots. That is not a lot of spots.
No, it ain't.
And then you got. I think one of the hard things is like while we sit up here and we're very excited about what happened with Unrivaled and everything like that, it's like, okay, so where's the developmental side of that? Right, where it takes the hot names and college players who are going to transfer out and all this other stuff, and maybe it's underneath the league right now, but it might just be a business opportunity for somebody who's like waiting on the league to do it. You're going to be waiting another decade. It ain't going to happen that way. They're just now starting to expand the teams to then like have a whole D league. I just don't see that happening. People are going to go overseas first and try to make a little change over there.
Make a little money.
But
like
like
that avenue has been carved out. You know what I'm saying?
been
Reliable.
been tried, true, and all this other stuff. And then the sad part is that they go over there and they're like, look, people love me over here. First of all, I didn't have to wait till 2025 and hope that I'll maybe end up on the fever team so that people want to come see me play because of Caitlin Clark to even have an opportunity to get known and get those things. Instead, they were like, first of all, I played over in Italy, not professionally. We played as a college team, went over there. First of all, I was so loved. Like I'm still in college. I didn't even want to go pro. They had kids taking my practice jerseys, asking for my shorts. I was like, first of all, I ain't about to walk out here with my drawers on. But my point is just that the way and the experience, once they go over there,
you ain't trying to come back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come and beg for a spot on a squad that has a limited thing, and like
in Indianapolis,
icons.
I'm in Italy, and you want me to come to Indianapolis?
They don't come.
I'm gonna stay my ass in Rome and give me some good spaghetti. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just saying, like, I think waiting on the league to do it's gonna be the wrong thing to do. If you can find opportunities where you capitalize on the popularity of these college players when they are still popular and give them an opportunity here in the States. And maybe they can collab with the league down the road, but I think establishing something and getting a proof of concept is the only way in which that we're going to see something happen in the States. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, you make a strong argument. Mel, your face is like, yeah.
I mean, just backing on what I thought Athletes Unlimited was going to turn into that. I thought that they had the right momentum at the right time and that right setup. And I don't know, like everybody else kind of took over that space over top of them, but they had it right in their grasp to be able to do something like that and put these players that were not making rosters onto another platform and to really like get enmeshed with the current players and the Sydney Colsons of them all and all that. Like that was a prime opportunity that I think was missed in the momentum that's been building. But then there's always been like other developmental leagues per se that are smaller, of course, but throughout the country. So I'm gonna shout out like the Bay Area, the WPBA up there, Fatima, and what she's been building up there. I hope that the WNBA starts to embrace her in that Bay Area market a little bit more. And all the women that she's been helping get overseas opportunities are phenomenal. Yeah. And the women's ABA East Coast, I know Virginia's about to get their team.
We do have the Virginia Vitesse. Yep. I'm trying to, hey, if y'all listening, I've been emailing y'all. Hit me back. I want to be your play-by-play. Hit me back. You know, you got my anyway.
I did not know that. I've been helping them like low-key. I did not know that. But
put it on social.
And we gonna talk offline, Mel, and we can talk offline. What the but yes, there are leagues, you know, that have been doing that work, frankly. And I'm kind of gonna push back a little bit because Athletes Unlimited, yes, I wholeheartedly agree that there's momentum that I needed them to harness that didn't quite get harnessed. I think it had a lot to do with where the games were available and how much access people had to them. Because when Unrivaled came, we're giving it to you on TNT. You're not going to miss this. You know what I'm saying? And Athletes Unlimited, I still have hope for that league. I really do. And I still see in season, I've seen a couple of times this week even, players from AU giving shout outs to AU just to say like, thank you for helping me stay where I need to be to come out here and do what I need to do in training camp and in the regular season WNBA. So I still think that avenue is open for them. I think what happened is Unrivaled came in, their social team, we've talked about it on amongst ourselves, their social team blew it out of the water. And I think it's not just accessibility on TV or wherever people can stream your games. It's also about building that community and building that relevance in those social media spaces, making it cool. You know what I mean? If it's cool to talk about unrivaled, if it's cool to talk about AU, then people are gonna talk about it. People are gonna watch.
You gotta have the right people in the right seats to do
exactly.
that.
Yeah,
that was started by those that are in the community.
Facts.
Yeah. So there's no
like,
there's no
you're not
limit to what I
capitalizing
think
off
they
the
can do.
back of the community. You are the community.
Yeah, you're already enmeshed in it, and I still have hope for them. I still have hope for AU. I still love the mission. I still love all that. But I agree, they could literally be the G League. Literally. So let's get personal here. Have any of y'all ever been cut from a team? Not waived, because WNBA is very specific, but cut from a team. It don't even have to be basketball. And does anybody have horror stories about it?
Nope. Wait.
Let's put them glasses on like you ain't never had to worry about me.
I'm not. Look,
Jazz ain't never been waived either.
I walked away on my own volition.
Is that a good story?
Well,
no, it ain't.
How did you
I went to
walk away?
BYU, and I am very grateful for the opportunities that it gave me and things like that. But I was done. It was not the easiest being in such isolation for 4 years.
That's
I feel that. Benson, why you put the glasses on?
Because I ain't never been waived, cut, denied, rejected, declined, whatever word you want to use. You want to look at all chat GPT. Go ahead and load it. Ain't been it. So I had to put on a new face to let you know that ain't happening. I don't know nothing about
Benson
that.
be coming with the props.
I don't know nothing about
Benson,
that.
I don't know this man. I'm so sorry.
No,
I don't know this man. I'm very sorry to this man.
So I don't know. Maybe we might have to get some viewers to talk about when they got cut. You know what I'm saying? Because we got some viewers that might have got cut.
Send us a
not
DM.
Nobody on here. Not on here. Send us a DM if you ever been cut or waived. We'd love to tell your story because we ain't got it on here. Can't retire and we ain't got it. We ain't got it. Just saying. Drop the mic.
What about you, Mel?
Mel, you better not say you got cut. I swear for you.
Benson, don't be now. We're all friends here, Benson. You ain't gotta throw the. You ain't gotta throw the.
All she gotta do is lie.
Oh my God.
Just lie. They'll never know.
You ain't gotta lie, Craig.
No. I mean, how am I going to get cut when my mom is like my coach? So.
So you was cheating.
You know what? I got a story. Hold on.
What happened?
I didn't get cut. I never got cut. However, in my recruiting process,
talk about it.
My dream school, I ain't gonna put them on blast right now.
Ooh.
But I'll just say this because the coach there didn't even make it by the time I was there.
What's the school, Jazz? What's the school? Tell it, Jazz.
So UCLA was my dream school. I want to go to UCLA real bad. The coach hit me back, said I was too short. Right? So I get my offer from BYU. Okay. And I'm a whole 5'4" 3/4. So I'm not saying I'm the tallest. It's fine. It's fine.
Talk about
okay.
it.
I wanted to play at UCLA, ended up going to BYU, had a good career over at BYU, and that coach got fired.
Ooh, let go.
That coach then started coaching at UNLV.
Payback.
Right. UNLV was in BYU's conference because we were in the Mountain West when I played. That was before TCU and Utah left. Like Mountain West was much stronger than it is. No shade, but it was. And then what had happened was my dad was also a high school level coach. All of a sudden, one of his players starts getting a little letter from UNLV, and he responds and he's like, "Oh yeah, she's interested, blah blah blah." She says, "Your last name is Foreman."
Talk about it.
Any chance you're related to Jasmine Foreman? I'm like, "Oh, you know my name now." And he said, "That's my daughter." And she said, "She always has her best game of the year against us."
Huh.
Wonder why. Call in and tell us what happened.
Too short now.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk to her now.
Yeah, come on.
Jazz said I played a long game. I played a long game.
No, that's right, Jazz.
You know about me now. You know my name now, don't you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wait, can I share my story of, all right.
Yeah.
My story is when it's not me getting cut,
Uh-oh.
but I was mad I got promoted.
What?
My freshman year of high school, I started my first 5 games on JV.
Okay, JV.
And then I was scoring and dominating too much that they moved me up to varsity, and I was distraught.
Oh, you didn't
My
want
life
that.
has never been the same ever since.
So did you stay on varsity? I'm sorry, I gotta ask. Okay, well, yeah, okay.
I stayed on varsity.
Yeah, you're not about to be killing people on JV, Mel. Like, we're not about to do that.
Right. Like, all my friends were there.
And about your friends in high school.
About your friends.
In high school. Yeah, we hooping.
The ball is your friend, Mel.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I never got cut from a basketball team.
Talk about it, Mish.
I tried out for softball though.
That
when
wasn't
I was in middle school. First of all, I was a slugger. They were wrong. They knew they were wrong. I just didn't have no skills with the what's it called? The glove, the mitt. I don't even know.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's clear you don't, because you didn't know.
Yeah, you definitely should have got cut if you would have said, yeah.
She said the thing
the mitt,
what?
I could throw hella hard. I was accurate.
You gotta be able to catch though.
I
know she didn't just say I could throw hard.
Yeah,
ma'am.
It's all right. It's all right. I was a cheerleader. I got cut. I did get cut from cheerleading. But I thought we were talking about basketball.
First of all, could you imagine Benson cheerleading?
No, not at all.
My toe touch was like, toe touch like, listen, I was cold, and then I ended up becoming like 5'8" at the time. That's a big cheerleader. I can't be in the back. This skill set can't be in the back, but them big ones got to be in the back. So I said, this ain't for me. So they just said I had to leave.
First of all, with your Stevie Wonder glasses on right now, you are killing me.
Killing me.
We talking about getting cut. I was feeling that vibe. It's okay. I come back. I come back.
No, that's different. The Hoopers, though, stayed on rosters. No tea, no shade to anybody who didn't. We want to extend our love to you, and we understand, everybody doesn't walk that path. But around CRFT, around Can't Retire From This, we grateful. Because
it's Sideline Stories for a reason. Like, just because you on the sideline,
let's tell you not in the game. Yeah. Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm crying.
It's also that, I'm gonna be real with you. It's also a little bit of like we knew ourselves, right?
Yeah,
we know ourselves. I wasn't over here trying out for UConn. Like,
no.
Go ahead, Maya. You do you, boo boo. I'm not
the goat. What we time at?
Mm-hmm.
We knew, and we went to a lot of the camps. Like Candace Park was around that age. We
like,
knew. It was just like, okay, why are you that high up? Yeah.
You ain't got to reject me, because I'm gonna say, you know what? There's another path I'm supposed to take.
I'm gonna go mid-major. I think
that
mid-major
fork hit the road. I was supposed to go left. You on the right. I was supposed to. I just followed, what they told me.
Even though we have never particularly experienced being properly cut or waived, we send our, thoughts and feelings to all of those who, in the very, very early stages of this WNBA season, have not landed on rosters. But it's a long season, right?
Facts.
It's a long season. There's more time left. There's Eurobasket. There's all sorts of things that happen during the season. So who knows? Maybe those people that we've talked about will end up on rosters. But in the meantime, we're enjoying the start of the WNBA season, enjoying each other, enjoying this conversation, and bringing it to y'all. So thank you so much for listening. That's it for us, y'all. The Can't Retire fam appreciates you tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to the pod on whatever platform you prefer, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Can't Retire Project. Sideline Stories, a Can't Retire From This podcast, is produced and edited by Melanie Page, Brittany Brown, and Misha Jones. Our hosts are Misha Jones, Melanie Page, Jasmine Dallas, and Tanisha Benson, with special guest host Lindsay Allen. Thanks for listening.
Special. Every single day I see a sign, a reason not to stop, keep it pushing through the grind. Look how far I came, baby, I've been on the rise. After all this time, it's still a fire in my eyes. I'ma keep shooting my shot 10,000 more times, yeah.